live.
Welcome back. I am the Grey Wed, joined by T and Amanda, your PhDJ, my partner in crime over on All That Jam. How we doing, guys?
Very well, thank you. I love what you've done with the place. Things are looking great over here. Very nice.
Fantastic. I tell you what, T, there's going to come a day where people are going to say, who's Weekend Wook?
No, never. It's still a little under construction, Amanda. We're still figuring out
iconic
the building.
That's what you do. Iconic. All of it.
All of it.
Well, we need to bring back the 6-person intro and really screw with people.
Right.
It's a good idea.
You are all these people. All right. T is obviously on location, so if there's any hiccups or anything, he's probably going to mute in between talking, maybe. Look at that.
Very nice.
Wow.
Location is right.
Little Disneyland day. Got some friends in town, so I'm at the California Adventure at the Avengers campus right now.
Oh, nice. Maybe we can get a Captain America shot or something.
Yeah, if he walks by, definitely. He was over there earlier.
You know, you could squint and say it's Red Rocks because it almost has a Red Rocks vibe from here.
If I walked over to Cars Land, it totally is. It looks like the desert. I think right behind me is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Oh, yeah.
What that is. So, yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
People are asking now. I mentioned Tim. Yes, Tim's still around. He's enjoying his kids. He's got 2 young kids and a wife, and he's doing that thing. I did it for 10 years. I almost didn't see fish for 10 years.
I think the thing people don't understand is like what a time commitment the Wook Plus stuff actually is. Like, you just see us on Wednesday nights doing an hour show, or on Tuesdays. And like, Kevin and I meet every day. Like, we have shit going on like, it's a strain. Like, it's a lot. And when you have a full-time job and a full-time family and a ton of other, like, it's hard. And you don't want to feel like you're letting the team down, and you don't want to feel like you're letting your family down, and you don't want obviously your job. So it's like, it's hard. So I totally get it. And he's just in a place right now with 2 young kids, and like, it's tough. So I mean, Kevin and I, we're kind of the two that like don't have really anything else going on in our lives at the moment. So it's easy for us to kind of sink our teeth into this and go for it. So that's the only reason like we were able to keep it afloat the way we did, and what we've been able to do with it. So,
and thank goodness for that. Trust me.
Like,
thank goodness. No?
Things work out for a reason. I feel like, yes, like being in the situation I've been in, if I hadn't been in that and had work and Alex around, so I don't know if we'd be in the same position with Wook Plus stuff. So, you know.
Yep. Is that better, Mr. E? It did. My computer decided to restart or update this afternoon, so it switched the mic off. Hopefully,
that is better. That is better.
All right. So last night, Amanda, I don't know if you know this, but I actually went out to a concert. I went out to a show last night. Rented a car, whole 9 yards.
I was going to say, Kev, not only did you go out, you put some effort into going out. Because usually Kev's like, oh, if I can't get a ride, I'm not going, or no one wants to take me, so fuck it. But like, this is how much he loves this band. I think they're above fish as far as his like.
I want to hear all about it.
So yes.
Silly fantastic. Well, you know, we were chomping. Peter came out while the opening band was on, and he saw me, and we started talking, and we got a look from someone. So I'm the guy who chomps during the opening band with people in the headliner. Total disrespect.
Was that Richmond? That was in Richmond, right?
No, it was in DC.
DC. Okay, very cool.
The name of the club.
You need to carry those cards around, Kev, that I posted last night from the bar that I was at Venice West. That's like, stop talking, the band is on, or whatever. Like, we need to make those and hand them out because they're too perfect.
Dude, somebody handed me a card once about talking at a fish show, and I went and I cleaned one of my teeth with it, and I handed it back to the person.
Dick.
What do you expect? I've seen them at jazz clubs. Definitely seen them at jazz clubs where the venue does that, but that's it.
There's what's his name, Kevin? There's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, nice.
There goes Star-Lord. Yeah.
Guest stars all over the place. PhDJ, you got movie stars. Everybody's here.
Avengers, like, yeah. What a night. What a night.
Everything's going on.
Fantastic. But so, yeah, fantastic show. they've been doing the exact same 90-minute set every night. So, and they played a video. They had this whole video running the whole time. So I guess, that synced to what they were playing, which I found fantastic. The problem with this club is it was weird and small, and the screen was off to the side of the stage, so you didn't get the full effect of it, which their next show is at the Brooklyn Bowl tomorrow night, and I think you'll really get it there. And if you're in New York and you have nothing to do tomorrow night, go pay the $20 to see Gorilla Toss, and you're going to get to see Trey Anastasio come out and play Red Flag to Angry Bull with them, and I think there's going to be something special after. Peter said that they were going to get together with Trey beforehand and do some rehearsals. And
there you go. You heard it here. Go.
They are such a unique band, too. I think really for anybody who hasn't seen them or listened to them, you got to go. Got to do it.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Oh, nice. That's so cool. They just have them walking through there. That's so crazy.
So funny. That's awesome, though, Kev. I'm glad you got to go, though. I'm so bummed I missed them here when they played. I was totally planning on going, but ended up having to work that night, so I didn't get to go. I'm so glad you got to go and see them. And how was that show compared to – have you seen them since the Colorado show that we went to?
Yeah, the only two times. And that Denver show, I think, was better because that crowd was just jacked and off the hook.
It was packed that night.
And they did
night
sets.
0. Yeah.
They did 2 sets. They had people from record companies there. I think they were like full on with that.
That night was off the hook. Yeah.
It was solid, but you could tell that they were tight and they had it together and they nailed everything, but also you could tell that they were 25 shows in. I mean, the road is going to wear on anybody at that point, especially cross country.
I was just going to say, they were just here a couple of weeks ago, and now like a week ago. Yeah, and now they're all the way back across the country in New York, which is where they kind of started from too, I think, before.
Yeah,
so,
that's their home base,
Yeah, so the zigzag and not a lot of time. So,
Now, I don't know if either one of you, Amanda probably has, I don't know if you have, driven in D.C., but DC is a very confusing place. So after the show, I'm driving around and I notice there's a car behind me and I'm like, that's probably a cop. Eventually the lights come on, guy pulls me over, another cop car pulls up. I got 4 cops around the car. You know why I pulled you over? I was like, no, not really. And he's like, you broke 7 or 8 traffic laws already. You went from the right lane 4 lanes over and made a left. And I'm like, dude, it's DC at 1 a.m. There's nobody on the streets. What the fuck does it matter? I think he thought he was going to get a drunk. I think he thought he was getting a big
I'm
bus.
Sure he did.
He took my ID. The other cops are trying to make small talk. I said, I got nothing to say to you guys. I said, you understand if I have nothing to say. And they just let that go. Cop comes back, hands me my ID and asks me if I need directions. Didn't even give me a ticket.
He probably thought that, like you said, he was getting a lot more out of that. And then when he didn't, it was just like, go, we got better people to bust.
Right.
I was going to say 5 minutes away, there's something else going on that I'm sure they might have been more interested in.
Old dude in a rental,
Right, and that's the other thing. It's not like you're a spring chicken outraging or even they're kind of like, dude, this guy, just send him home. Like, he's more trouble than he's worth.
I was like, I need 16th Street, Colesville Road. He's like 3 blocks over, make a right. I was like,
see ya.
But then he pointed something out too. He's like, you have to get into that lane over there to go that way. And I was like, cool.
Kevin, he heard the Baltimore in you and he didn't want to fuck with you. And then he's like, this guy is so local. I am moving on. That's exactly what happened. I guarantee it.
Dude, that is exact. Kevin said water. And the guy's like, go.
Secret passcode.
Yeah, exactly.
Let the man go. Let him move along.
You're done. We talked, Amanda, T and I talk a lot about the sphere. You could say that we have an unhealthy obsession with it, maybe, even on some level. And we've come up with this whole theory that what they do is 8 shows, 10 shows, 12 shows. They sell out, we add more. And we found that no doubt that was last week they announced T, and then this week, boom.
More shows.
Doubling the number. They went from having 6 to having 12 shows now.
And I think we talked about this. I think it's in those contracts that's like you're signing for a 6-week show or a 6-night run with possible 24 shows added onto that in 6 show increments depending on how it goes. So Yeah, I think that's definitely the way it's set up. And even, I think, what did we say? The Eagles just added dates too through February or something.
Into March.
Yeah.
So that left April open for us.
Yes. So Fish should be getting announced soon.
Have you heard this Fish rumor, Amanda?
I hear lots of rumors. I have definitely heard that one. I mean, there's been several cycles now of Fish return to the Sphere rumors. So I know people want it. I missed out on those shows. I did see some Dead and Company shows that same summer. But, you know, the way that Fish operates, I see it two ways. Their touring model may not work for the Sphere, but they have such a close connection with MSG and Dolan, you know, so I could see it not mattering as much. Maybe, you know, maybe they don't have to play those rules that we see.
We also heard when they did the first 4 shows that part of that contract they signed then was for another. You know, they signed up to do it twice. Like Dead and Company, when they did the first one, signed up to do 2 more runs. So expect next fall or next summer, after No Doubt, is when we'll get Dead and Company back there probably.
And I feel like with Fish, I don't even think that option is on the table for them to add more shows, because I think they're like,
it'll be
whatever they say they're going to do is that run. If it's 4, if it's 5, if it's 8, if whatever it is, that's it. There's no additional add-ons.
It'll be so it'll be, instead of being the same show every night like the Eagles, that you can add 10 more shows.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The lead time, and I have no idea, so this is just a complete guess, but whatever lead time bands need, or, you know, on the art side of it, I'm sure Fish requires much, much more time, because they are programming these individual nights worth of graphics. I can only imagine what that takes. So they probably do have to buffer that quite a bit in between runs there too. So that could be a part of it.
Right. Definitely. What do they do? What does, it's like the tractor guy. I cannot remember the damn country guy's name. I keep losing it. But the country guy did all those shows, and I'm like, what do you do with a bunch of country tunes in that thing? What do you do with, you know, Ain't No Holla Back Girl? I mean, what are the
I don't know, but some of the Backstreet Boys visuals were fantastic. I mean, I saw some of that and I was like, damn, okay, that's now like a 4th different spin on what you can do there. And I was impressed with that from the little bit that I saw.
I said it before, I think any band is worth seeing there, and you're going to get a special show just from the audio and what goes on there. But then even with the visuals, no matter what they put up there, I mean, it's cool, it's stunning, it's breathtaking, it immerses you. So I even if it's repeated stuff, it's still cool as hell, you know?
It is.
And you're still getting like such a cool moment and experience from it. So can you add to the uniqueness like Fish does and one up it and do, you know, not the same shit every time? Of course, like that option's there. But I think for most bands, it's such a undertaking to get the graphics done for that set list that you're going to do anyway every night, that you're like, okay, yeah, we can add 1 or 2 things to that and throw them in there, but we're not doing.
They don't want the wrath of Fish fans on them if they dare to try to repeat any part of that, right? Like, who wants that? You take this beautiful moment. They know what's going to happen. The one time I did go to the Sphere was for a Saturday night Dead and Company. I woke up the next morning. My flight home wasn't until 8 or 9 p.m. I found a ticket for the Postcard from Earth, the Darren Aronofsky documentary. And I went back the next afternoon. That's how obsessed I was after that experience. And it was just as cool. It was just different, but also amazing. So yeah, I'm with you.
Well, what do you make, Amanda? I haven't talked to you in a while. What do you make of the Wizard of Oz thing they did, where it's like 90% a new movie? Because
yeah, you know, I had read a little bit about it. I reserve judgment. I think something like Wizard of Oz at this point has been so manipulated. That sounds negative. Has been changed in so many ways and kind of put into all of these different formats and focus areas of different parts of that story, that at this point, I think you could do anything with it. And if it's done well, it'd be amazing. I think people are used to seeing takes on the classic, and so are probably very open to that with all the other stuff, the Broadway whatnots. Clearly, I know a lot about that. You know, everything else that they've done.
The Broadway whatnots.
Yeah, the Who's Its and the Whatnots. Yeah.
Sounds like a band, the Broadway Whatnots.
Oh yeah, they're going to be opening actually.
Soon,
It's Trey's
New
new
Year's.
solo project.
Exactly.
You heard it here first. Yeah.
It's all hands on a hard body songs.
That's
Reimagined.
the New Year's gag.
That's right. That's the New Year's gag. There you go.
Which I'm going to be there, by the way. I told Kevin I am going back. I have not seen a Fish New Year's in a long time, but that was my first Fish show was New Year's 95, and I've seen a whole bunch since then. So 30th anniversary will be New Year's, and I am ecstatic about that.
Oh,
yeah.
They're going to drop P&I from the ceiling instead of balloons.
Oh, perfect. I'll be there. I'll catch you.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch
Fall into a pile of relish from the hot dog.
The floor parts.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
What do you make of the seats on the floor, Amanda? Did you see that? The way they have it set up, it's half the floor is seats this time.
I saw that. I mean, I don't know. It's such its own environment down there. Anyway, it's been a really long time since I have wagered to kind of move in that space. Personally, other shows I've seen in venues, much smaller venues, where seats were either added or they had a half GA floor, half seated floor. If I'm the one in the seats, personally, I felt like I was missing the whole vibe of being on the floor, and I didn't love it. But a lot of us are at a point, me included, where it's nice to sit down. So, hey,
I was going to
that's
say,
good.
it has like two things. One, is it part of the gag? Is it something to do with something, or is it a money grab of adding seats in there? And two, like, yes, to your point, I think being able to sit in a chair sometimes is so necessary.
I'm happy about it.
Kills you, like, especially on the floor, it just kills you. Like,
especially after 4 nights.
Yeah,
if you're trying to do that
Yes.
4 nights, it just
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah. So I mean, just in a practical sense, I would appreciate it. I don't have floor seats. I'm going to be in the 200s, but if I were, I would not be mad about it at this point in my concert going career. I guess I will say that.
You know, the bowl, every time they play the bowl, the pool area in the bowl is all seats. And so, like, it's really kind of nice. It gets a little hectic down there with everything because it's crammed. Because, like, what they should do is, like, do every other seat, like, space it like that instead of crammed. Because it's the fold-out chair. So you're just, like, crammed in there next to you. It's so uncomfortable. But intermission rules because you're just like, I can just sit here and, like, you know, or like when he plays Drift or something, you're like, I don't need to stand for this song, I need to sit. So, like, you get a break. But
Dude,
Everybody
one
wins.
year at RFK, they had the folding chairs on the floor, on the grass at RFK, right? Seats for a Grateful Dead concert in the stadium. Zip tied together. Like, they zip tied the whole row together. Dude, by the end of the first set, there were like 4 or 5 huge piles of chairs. People just tearing them apart and throwing them over into piles. It's ugly.
Oh, man. It's just, yeah. I mean, I get it. But, yeah.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. I mean, how do you feel about it, guys? Like, what do you think? Seats on the floor or no seats on the floor? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like seats would add an element of what's the word I'm looking for?
Less
Like,
tickets.
well, no, but it would add an element of, like,
Order.
Some structure.
yes, thank you. Yes, structure. That's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Like some structure to the madness down there, and, like, not allowing you to save an area
Right.
or, like,
No, I tell you
talent
what-
or, like, you know, it would be nice to.
General admission floor is a phenomenon that I guess happened at 3.0 because back in 1.0, there were always seats on the floor. You got a row. If you got the 4th row, you were like, cool as shit, I'm in the 4th row. You
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
kind of
Because
thing
I
like
stepped
that.
down to the floor that New Year's, that first show, and I was in like row 20 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it that's what it was.
Well, I think what
an
happened is,
interesting point.
you remember The Hill had the Stampede back in 80 or 81. The WKRP episode about that's really a great episode of television. But after that, they stopped doing the general admission because of insurance problems. You know, you can't have all these kids running in and trampling each other to death to get up to see Roger Daltrey for whatever reason.
It's true. It's true. You can't.
There'll be
Worth it,
no
though.
who hate tonight.
Worth it, though.
Just
Worth
saying.
it, though.
Who hate?
That's just me. Well, you know, the only time I ever made it through, you know, the waiting for a Fish show to be right up front on the rail was one of the Island Tour shows back then. I was right in front of Page. It's Nassau Coliseum, and the floor of the place was literally falling apart. I mean, the wooden planks, whatever they cover the ice with, were just from everybody dancing. And I remember at one point turning around, and I'm like 17, and I'm thinking, this doesn't seem right, but whatever, you know. But it was so packed, and I never really went to do that again. Also, I'm super short, so I bring my Periscope to shows now when I can.
Do you really?
I really do. I had it in Monogreen.
I love that.
It really helps.
Over on Volume, Kevbo is asking about, have you ever seen the little fold-out stools? He said he brought one in,
Yes.
dead 60, and it saved him.
You know, when I had the blood clot, the first year I went back to Dick's. After that, I brought one of those REI total fold, you know, it basically looks like a fanny pack and then it unfolds. I got one of those down on the floor, and let me tell you, that was like the greatest thing in the world. Like, I used to at Red Rocks and stuff back in the day, I used to have one of those Mountain Smith like fold down chairs that would just like, you know, it was just like a mat basically, but it would fold it into like a little chair that you could sit in to save yourself from standing the whole time. But having that little chair, like, you had to sneak it in because they got more strict on them. But just having that was like such a, especially on the floor like a Dick's, where it's that stupid, I know I always bitch about it, but that stupid plastic hard
tarp situation.
Yeah, it just kills your feet. Like, it's not even, it sucks. So like anything you can do to like save yourself from that is necessary. So, but your short thing, I was going to say, I'm totally with you on that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't ever matter. I always get somebody tall in front of me, whether it's a movie or a concert or whatever. And then like, it's always right in front of me. Like, I'll be with my buddy or back with Alex. Person in front of her is always short, or she's on the aisle where like you can easily like get me. It's always like the person standing. Like, I'll always have like a perfect shot of Mike, but Trey is always blocked by somebody just standing right there. And so like to get it, you're always, it's
never
so
fails.
annoying.
The Periscope would be funny with the tall person above their head.
Yeah, exactly, right above them. Like,
I would have words with that person. My jersey would come out if I saw that. Let me tell you, I'd have to have a little bit of a moment. But yeah, I mean, it's the truth. And you know what? I think as years go by, you realize like people want that. I love it. Take that energy you have, do it, right? Have a great time with it. I'm in the front of a section, I think 210 or 207 for New Year's, and I cannot be happier because it's a great line of sight.
Perfect.
Lots of breathing room in front of you, so to speak, as much as can be found. And you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the hell out of that.
It's perfect. And I'm not gonna. I don't mean to tall shame anybody. Like, I get it. Like, it's not your fault that you're tall. But the one thing you can do is not wear a hat if you're tall to a concert. Don't ever wear a hat, especially like a cowboy or like a funky hat that sits up even higher on your head. Like, come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on.
No respect. No respect.
No, none. This reminds me, Kev, of like my Bill Walton stories, where the guy just didn't give a shit. It would just go down on the floor and stand in front of him. And you're like, dude, you're 9 feet tall. Like, come on, go backstage or go to the side of stage. You know you can get over there. Why
you don't even need to be here.
Right. He's like, no, I like the
6-foot wingspan.
I like being on the floor with the vibe of everybody. And you're like, dude, no, it just does not. Like, I can't. You're a wall. Like.
Funny you mentioned that word, Kevin. I do have to just say one of my nicknames is wingspan. I'm barely 5 feet tall, and so as you can imagine, it's a little tongue in cheek. But yes, that's so true. Right? Arms out, like hello.
You're like a condor. You got big arms like a condor.
So I was on Facebook yesterday making sure that everybody I went to high school with is still racist, and I saw this ad for the Divided Sky Foundation is running a contest through the end of the year till January 7th, and they're giving away, the headline is huge, a signed Languedoc from Trey, and you're like, he's giving away one of his guitars? Well, it's actually a guitar that he sound checked once with in Albany and signed, but he did play it live when he signed it. So, and it's money, it's to raise money for Divided Sky Foundation. So,
that's a good cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
You know where I go to school?
That little kid. It's funny. It's funny. So he's doing the Beacon too.
Yeah.
which is interesting that he how much does that? What do we have? He's eating
Those are all my
dinner
friends.
now. Here, can we mute you for a minute while you're eating? There
Looks
we
good,
go.
whatever it is. I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm always hungry.
Yeah, so somebody I think was late pedals. Yes, T is actually at Disneyland right now in the Avengers campus, not encampment.
That's
Yes, I am at Disney's California Adventure right now. Yes, with some friends that are in town. So, yes, and we're eating a giant pretzel from the PIM laboratory next door. Not like they make like giant. Anyway, yes, it is delicious.
I bet it
It
is.
is delicious. It is delicious.
Disney magic.
Exactly.
Now, my thing is, what do? You win this guitar. I tell you what I would do if I won this guitar. I would probably sell it.
I was going to say resale.
I knew you were going to say that. I would let people play it, like the one guy, like.
Call Andy up. Andy, do you want one of Trey's guitars added to the collection?
Oh my God, you could be
Exactly.
the person that just shows up at all your local shows with the guitar. You get in touch with people ahead of time. Hey, you want to play a song with my guitar? Trey played it. Then you are the cool ass person that's there walking in. No, I don't play it, but you could. You know?
Right. You want to touch it? Everyone want to touch it? Look, you can touch it. Come on
That's
over.
what I would do.
That's exactly what I would do. In fact, I would probably charge all you fish schools $5 or something just to touch it. Like, you want to touch it? $5. Trey touching it right here.
And there's that one spot like in statues, statues where there's always you see many hands have been here.
Put a little plaque that right there, Trey's hand was right here.
All right, we've got this all figured out. One of us has to win this.
Yeah, now we have to get it.
You can see the smudge.
Yeah.
So, we were, Friday, there's a huge court case going on up in Jersey with a guy named Tommy Dorfman who's fighting Live Nation. We got to interview Tommy. I actually tagged, what's that knucklehead's name? Vinny Politan on Court TV in a post, and I was like, you need to send somebody down to the Jersey Federal Court to cover this thing, man.
Good luck.
I could care less about who murdered who in some weird way and cut them up and whatever.
This is the stuff people care about. Like I told you, I wish I could fly out there for it, because I'd like to just be there and hear what kind of bullshit he's going to have to go through next. Because it's going to be another crap thing. But
I mean, it's been so many years, right? I mean,
15,
over a decade, and then some. Yeah.
And his great thing is, he's so funny talking to him. He's like, what I'm afraid of now is my witnesses and people are going to start dying. And you're like, oh, shit. He's like, I can't do anything if they die. Then I lose my, the people that were going to testify and stuff. So you're like, well, yeah, that's kind of a problem. And it's totally their solution to things is just drag it out in the hopes that it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring this up is if you thought Ticketmaster and Live Nation, well, I'm going to mute you with the kid talking.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm going to flip the camera.
Okay. Live Nation and Ticketmaster have decided that Ticketmaster has decided that what they're going to do is they've did a little shake up. This guy named Mehta became global president. He reports to Rapino, who's the one who says ticket prices should be doubled. But they want to accelerate a transformation of Ticketmaster driven by AI, especially in areas such as fan experience, venue tools, and defending against bad actors. I say that you're opening up to more bots, even making it harder.
That web grows, right? And it gets more and more complicated to try to unravel what's happening where. I just think it gets more challenging. I will say one of the best quotes I've seen about this entire situation, I think this was Dorfman who said that basically the folks at Live Nation make the mafia look like gentlemen.
Yep.
He did
That
say
is
that.
a serious statement, and I believe it. With the amount of money that's flowing there, I actually have no trouble believing that.
That and the fact that it's literally the way he got bullied out of it from like doing his show and then kind of giving him the ultimatum of like, well, you either do it our way or you can't do it at all. And he's like, well, I can't do it your way. And then they just, I mean, basically like showed up with bats, you know, and like be like closing shit down. You're like, how is that legal? Like, it's crazy. And the stuff that they get away with inside that we don't even know about, like he talks about how, you know, everybody bitches about fish and the ticket prices and they have to know and this and that. And he's like, they don't know. He's like, they honestly, he's like, they set up 2 sets of books. And so what they even presented those guys isn't real. It's like, not, it's so crazy. So like you're saying, yes, it very much is a racket and it very much is. I don't see how, I know the Justice Department has like looked into it and things, but I don't see, I mean, again, I think it's too big to fail, but I don't see how you don't, it's not obvious once you start getting into it that the books are cooked and that you're being lied to and shit isn't on the level. So
right. Well, the fact that they made it through that summary judgment liability piece itself, I think is such a massive win of its own right. That doesn't take care of the problem. But if there was nothing there, that wouldn't happen. Right. But yeah, I mean, who has all the money to delay things and just keep it kind of stagnant, right, while business continues as usual? And that's where we are. That's where it's been.
Right. We got a request here.
I saw that. Nice.
So here you go. Here's an Oasis minute for you. They're putting out a book, Trying to Find a Way Out of Nowhere, is a photo book by Jill Firmanowski, edited by Noel Gallagher, that has 500 behind-the-scenes images spanning Oasis's early days, rise, the breakup, and the live 25 reunion tour. And that was your Oasis minute.
God, we're gonna have to come up with a theme song for it now too, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess I could have run the Neil Young thing there.
No, because that'll just confuse people. We have to make an Oasis one now.
Right, yeah. I'll have to work on that. I'm not as excited about that, to say the least. So, do we want to talk about you choose your own adventure? We can either talk about something that's slightly a little bit political, or we can talk about just fluff topics.
I'm into, let's get into it.
Okay. We lost T.
He abstained.
He abstained. There you go. So, okay, here's the thing I saw. I saw 2 things. Jonathan Cain of Journey has been fighting with Neil Schon forever. Neil's been trying to kick him out of the band. If you think back when Journey began to suck, it's when Jonathan Cain joined and Greg Rowley left. But Jonathan Cain decided to release a song to honor the late activist Charlie Kirk.
Oh, yes, he did.
No one else. A tribute to Charlie Kirk. So I don't know. I mean,
a voice that inspired a generation, but to do what?
Right. He wants to be a minister, apparently. And he wrote it with his wife, whose wife is Paula White Cain. I don't know if this name rings a bell, but she is Trump's spiritual advisor.
Oh. Excellent.
It tells you everything. That's all you need to know.
Well, with advisors like that, I mean, clearly the songwriting is going to be stellar.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing was, like the Laura Trump stuff that she likes to call herself a singer and like did the Tom Petty cover, and that's kind of what this reminds me of.
God, she should have backed down. I'll stop believing too, Daniel. I hear you with that. I tell you, has any of you ever seen the Family Guy episode where the woman's burying her husband? And Peter and all the guys are doing karaoke, singing "Don't Stop Believing," and all the pallbearers go, "Wait, is that Journey?" And they drop the coffin and run off. And then the woman's like, "Harold," or whatever, and she's like, "That is Journey," and then she runs off.
Well, if I can just add, so in addition to, the Journey connection, if I am remembering correctly, Sammy Hagar also had shared some memorializing words and music. I think, what was it? Oh, wait, are the good times really over? I think this was right after, after what happened. So you have these folks popping up, right, doing these kinds of things, trying to make these statements for clearly maybe some kind of attention.
It wasn't a statement. He said, this is just a question I'm putting out there, which is so the way that works.
Right on.
I'm not making a statement.
Yes, I like Daniel. I'll stop believing. Yes, thank you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I will stop believing. All right. Enough of that nonsense. It's nonsense. So let's talk about solo albums. You know, so many, you know, Garcia, Weir did the solo thing. Trey is done. I mean, everybody in Fish has put out solo albums, but then you'll get down to bands like Mo, Widespread Panic, things like that don't, you know, maybe they have other bands they play live with, but very seldom do you get maybe Hardworking Americans with Dave Schools. You don't get a lot of solo albums. And I just wonder what that phenomena is. Is it the fact that they just aren't big enough on their own?
I wonder because or they just don't have the desire to do it. Maybe, you know, like you always talk about Rick leaving Goose and like doing his own solo shit and stuff. Like maybe some people are just happy in that area and don't need to like come out of it and do their own shit, or like they get enough artistic expression through the band that they're in and don't need to like feel a need to go solo. Because I always feel like the solo thing is such a weird, I don't know, like what do you need to do outside of the band that's so special or so different that you need to like have your own review for? I don't know.
And a distinction here, and I just keep asking questions. Are you okay? Sorry.
Like, just
wait a second. Clarify. So we're talking solo versus side project, right? Because those are different.
Or
similar. So like versus, you know, Trey doing a purely solo album versus Tab. I mean, there's.
Well, I'm saying a project like Garcia.
Okay.
Garcia put out a bunch of albums. The first one was just him and Kreutzmann, I guess, but the rest of them had full bands.
Well, I would say like Ghost of the Forest was a side project, and Trey solo is like his solo stuff, right? Like Trey Band is his solo shit. Is how I would sort of classify those two things.
That's fair enough, I guess.
Because I don't know, will Ghost of the Forest ever come back? Will there ever be another album? Was that just like done? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it.
Well, I tell you what, sometimes like I know with Mike and I know with David Gilmour back in '78, he put out a solo album because he wasn't getting a song on a Pink Floyd album. Just like Mike isn't going to get maybe one song on a Fish album, but I don't think he even got any. Well, you got Human Nature on the last one, but Sigma Oasis, there wasn't a Mike song.
So I wonder, there's probably a couple avenues to that then, right? I think what you're talking about makes absolute sense, and we've definitely seen that. And then I think that some people are just so prolific and have so much in terms of that creative side and so many different things that would not fit within the confines of maybe their main, you know, gig, right? I'm even thinking about somebody, and this is not the same example at all, but for some reason I was just thinking about Zappa. I mean, I love his classical stuff, right? I love it all. That's somebody that could not ever just do one thing, right? Like he's not going to be that. And so I think there's probably a couple of reasons why you see that sometimes, and other times maybe folks just don't feel compelled for whatever reason.
There you go. The reason I'm asking is because Tom Hamilton, who's been around for years. I saw him with Brothers Past back in the early 2000s. American Babies, Ghostlight, he's obviously in J-Rad, is putting out a solo album. And it's his first one. And when I read that, it got me thinking, you know, wow, you've been around so long. I know you're a prolific songwriter. Fascinating that it's the first time you're doing that. The other interesting thing is it's not coming out till next January, and they're already talking. I guess it's only 3 months ahead of time.
And they've dropped a single, or he's dropped a single, I should say, for it. I was a little disappointed that the promo photo, he didn't have glasses on, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the best things in the world to me is watching him play and watching those specs just slowly start to go down. Nothing satisfies me more than that. So, you know, hopefully in the other promo shots he'll have that. But like, all joking aside, I'm very excited for this because he's done some really interesting things, right? With Raina and Ghostlight and, you know, all these different acts that he's had over the years. So I'm curious what the rest of the album is going to sound like.
He's also played some shows I know this year he played 1 or 2 shows, and he has Taylor Shell on bass, Tommy McKee on keys, and Nick Paternosto on drums. And the set list covered everything: Ghostlight song, A Brother's Past song, some of the solo stuff. So I found it good. He has this huge catalog that he can pull from, really.
And he can play with anybody, you know. I'm of course going to bring up Japer's Choice and the Denver shows that he did with them and playing some of the Doors songs with them. But he sounded great. I mean, it was fantastic. That was such a great little union with them. So yeah, I think he's got so much versatility. It's surprising it's taken him this long to kind of do his own. That's one kind of, as we were talking about all this, that's one that I'm surprised that he hasn't done more, just his own shit on top of everything else that he is part of. So that is kind of good for him, though. It's about time, I guess, is the thing. It's about time.
The video is cool too. I mean, I love that he did that. So that's another layer to maybe some things he wants to do.
Yeah, and the other thing is Alex Farrar, MJ Lenderman and Wednesday's producer, co-produced the album with him. So I hear it's going to be it's a little grunge, a little outside of what you normally do, which is, I think my whole point in the beginning was that's exactly what a solo project should be. Something you're not going to do with the other band. Yeah.
Guys, I got this great idea. You know, I'm sure that happens a lot. So I'm glad that he has the ability to do that. And I know people are going to be stoked to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, I wonder, did it say what? I wonder who it's going to be on. I know he's worked in the past with our friends over at the Royal Potato Family. I wonder if it's going to come out on there.
That would be great.
We love Royal Potato.
I was going to say, they're awesome.
One of the best labels out there. So Real Estate is, we're big fans. T is, because T's buddies with Alex, the bass player there, who plays with Tabor's Choice, but they're going to tour with Eggy.
So cool. I think it's such a great like combination of that. It's such a great combination. Like, it's so weird, but it's gonna work so well. Like, you're gonna get like a little adult indie alt rock and then some sweet jam band. And as I mentioned before, this is just gonna lead, I think, to Eggy and Tabor's Choice doing something eventually as well, because now that door is broken down and there's like completely no reason they wouldn't. So it's awesome.
Right. And they're labeling it as full set from both bands and plenty of other surprises. So I'm assuming that there's either going to be the jam encore, which is a common thing to do. You come out and you set aside 20 minutes at the end to do a nice big encore there, or they'll be sitting in with each other, which Eggy is getting good at. Did either one of you get to see any of the? What do you mean? Turn the volume up. Did either one of you get to see any of the Eggy with Bruce Hornsby? Any videos?
No, I didn't.
I don't know if there are any because they weren't allowing people to have phones out.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go. So it would be hard to see it unless they released something from it.
Yeah, but I don't think they took them from anybody. You could have the phone in your pocket, so you're just got to be close to the vest, you know.
Right.
So this
glasses, the meta glasses, you just film without anybody knowing.
Go gadget.
Exactly.
This model, though, I mean, we've seen this before. My memory immediately jumps to Jamgrass, where we have Daniel Donato, Yonder, Railroad Earth, or Leftover Salmon, where you have these bands that go on a brief tour, co-headlining. They switch up who's playing that final headlining set each night. They do sit-ins and all kinds of other stuff. And I've had people actually say to me, they see it two ways. Some love it because they think it's a great opportunity to catch a bunch of bands. Other people say, but what if I'm really an Eggy fan? I want to see a whole show of just Eggy. So I see it both ways, but those have been pretty popular, I think.
Bridget.
A different way to think about it.
Right. You know who was brilliant at doing the pairings was Bill Graham. Like, he'd have Miles Davis open up for the Grateful Dead or something like that. He was
lots
how
of
do you
ways
follow
you can
Miles
think about
Davis?
it. I know. So yeah, I feel like this model has been tested a little bit with the jam scene in a few ways. And it seems to work pretty well. They go on the road, you know, in this case, it's 4 shows. Some of those other bands did maybe 10 shows, you know, not a huge tour. They could split their time. No one's playing a full show each night. So it's interesting.
They're playing, I totally lost what I was going to say there. Anyway, T's showing us something there. Yeah, oh, he's eating. He's
I'm
hiding
trying,
down
exactly. I'm not eating. I don't want to eat on camera.
Well, that's very kind of you. It's like almost as egregious as putting fish in the microwave there.
Tab and goose. Yeah, taboose. One of the ultimate. Yeah.
Oh, what I was going to say is, did you see this thing after the Mo show? They're doing a Mo Humphreys thing with half a Mo and half a Humphreys, which I like.
I dig that.
They're probably my two favorite. I would love if they just did a mega tour for a couple months. You know, you could get those 5,000 seat places. What's that place? Misha.
Oh, out by me, Mishawaka.
Mishawaka.
Cool spot. Very cool spot. Yeah, that'd be good for sure. I like those two together. I think that I could see a lot of crossover and tons of sit-ins for sure.
Colorado, huge. Have you heard this rumor going around that Halloween for Fish may reappear next year in Denver, Amanda?
Ooh, I'm excited, but no, I have not heard that yet. I feel like there's always so many fun rumors and thoughts around Halloween every year because it's kind of that one shot that we really don't know. You know, it just got a lot more of the question mark around it.
Well, the thing is, Vegas, they're playing the Sphere in April, right? They aren't going to go back and play Vegas for Halloween.
Right.
And if you play Vegas, you're playing the Sphere from now on. I don't think they're ever going to go back and play MGM Grand again.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
I don't think anyone would be upset.
It was COVID central. It was COVID central.
There's no reason why if they did that though, they wouldn't play like the T-Mobile Center or something. Like, why even bother going back to that shit venue when there's, you know, another stadium right there that they can play if they're not playing the Sphere.
Some people say, William. Some people say.
I don't think William's 100% sold.
No.
You know what? Maybe not even 75% sold.
I think he's 100% sold on them sucking.
Right. I just wish the guy wouldn't sing, man. The voice, and then he does the voice coder. I just don't like his voice.
Rick?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think his voice is the least of the problems I have with that band. I don't mind how it's everything around his voice, like the song and the builds and the I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I have a take on this, and it's like super controversial, so I don't want to piss anybody off, but I totally will. It's the fan base, not even the band, that turns me off from going to see them these days. I just feel like there is so much drama. Maybe that's just what comes across my way, but it seems like it's an emotional fan base to some degree, or the people that you hear about. It just seems like there's always a lot of hurt feelings and stuff going on.
It's very important to them that everyone likes their band. Is how I feel.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Because they're constantly like, come see a show and like trying to get people in. And then if you go and you don't like it, they're like, oh, what do you mean you don't like it? Like, fuck off. Like, go like fish it. Like, yeah, but it's just not my, I don't know. I can't get into it. I good for you for liking it. I don't.
Yeah, my joke is that Goose is what happens when you have a midlife crisis and you go on Goose tour.
I saw back on the bad site these days, which I peruse sometimes. There was one guy that was like so annoyed at people hating on Goose and just the anger towards people who didn't appreciate Goose. It was just, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like it's just.
I was like that about AC/DC in 7th grade.
Right.
We all have our moments, right? Like we all do. Yeah, it just feels
and they're always looking for something to compare it to or be it better than. Like the one thing I read too, they were like, oh, this is like 70s Dead. Like this is like early Dead is watching Goose right now in their prime. And I'm like, I'm glad you feel that way. Like I'm glad you feel like you missed out so much on not seeing the Dead that this is your like how you're grasping to that. Like instead of just being like, hey, they're good on their own. I don't need to compare them to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some cool stuff that I've seen them do. Absolutely. I think some of the songwriting is original in some ways, some of the earlier stuff for sure. But I think there's just something around the whole ethos.
I love Yeti.
That community. Some of it's super fun. I mean,
that Yeti song
he can write some good lyrics for sure. But yeah, that's kind of where I've stopped, with it for me. I want to go have fun and not worry that I'm upsetting somebody if I have a take.
Wait, there used
That's
to be
why I love both of you.
one time in New
Right.
Orleans, we went and saw Zigaboo
Bad takes
playing.
are welcome.
Yeah. We went and saw Zigaboo play till sunrise, and this guy had a shirt on that said, "I'm funkier than you." And I was like, that is just the greatest shirt ever.
That's pretty good. I like it.
No, that's
All right. I don't think Dave's watching today, but everybody else, turn your volume down.
Well, turn your line down. Here we go.
The Neil Young Minute. We actually got a big Neil Young Minute this week because he has announced his intention to remove his music catalog from Amazon and its subsidiary Whole Foods, urging fans to abandon purchases through large corporations in favor of supporting local businesses.
Mhm.
And I love Neil's out there doing this, but if you remember, he pulled all his music from Spotify for 18 months, and then it was back on there. So good for him.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's Neil. That's how he is. So good for him.
If it makes a couple people think a little bit differently about
Absolutely.
their choices of things, then I think that's wonderful. You know what I mean? If it just helps people step back and go, wait, why would I maybe do that? Then maybe that's what it's about also.
Right. He said Bezos supports the government. It does not support you or me. But they didn't say whether it was just physical media being pulled, if it was digital sales. Is it still going to be on? Doesn't Amazon Prime stream? Isn't that a streaming service? Is he pulling it from that? Or is it just if you want to buy the record, he's telling you to go to your local shop?
Buy local, buy direct, yeah. Because that was the messaging, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look, there's Captain America, or Sam, I should say. There's Sam.
Oh, nice. He's Captain America, man.
Captain America, yeah. But they have America's ass Captain America walking around here too at times. And I did go up to him and get a picture with him. I was like, that is America's ass. And he didn't really know what I was talking about. I was a little upset. I was like, come on, man. Like, what do you mean? I did not know the America's ass. You're Captain America. But now he's getting surrounded by people so you can't really see him. But yeah.
All right. The Neil Young Minute. All right, we had to do the outro.
I am also so excited that we got Captain America inside the Neil Young Minute. That fits so perfectly.
Power. That's a power minute right there.
It is a power minute. That is a great, kismet moment of plus there.
I'm going to have to upload some little clips because when we're one volume, we can run like clips. Like we always ran this one, which we never got. But we could do lots of them. I mean, there's so many great one-liners from movies, like definitely something from Tombstone or something like that,
there was this bar, it used to be called Maloney's. It's not there anymore, like all good things in this country. But it used to be, it was in Westwood, right next to UCLA. It was like a very big UCLA bar. And it was so much fun to go to. But their shtick was every third song, they would play a clip from a movie on like all the TVs and the thing. So like the music would stop and a movie scene would start. And it would be like, anything from like Caddyshack to like a Jack Ryan or like whatever it was. And it was so great because like everybody would be talking and then, the music would stop and everyone would kind of like look at the screens and then like everyone would be quiet and watch the scene and like laugh and be like, oh, this is such a great movie or whatever. And then the scene would end and the music would come back on and you start your conversation again. And it was like every third or fourth song. It was so much fun. And I was always like, that's such a great like social thing in a bar. Like it changes up the dynamic of like always trying to yell over the music constantly and like, I don't know, gives you a moment of like a break and you're like, oh, this is funny. And then you laugh and you're like, I need to go home and watch this movie. But I was thinking about that, Kevin, cool. with like what you're saying, Kevin, it's so fun to was like intercede with like all of a sudden a movie clip or something. That would be so much fun. So that was made me think of that.
Oh, hey, can I say a quick hello to Andy? Jump Radio in the house. Yeah. Andy, so good to see your name. That's awesome.
What's up, Andy?
Someday Andy will come back and Andy thinks I don't like him, but I love Andy.
No, we need to get Andy on.
I think sometimes don't understand the Baltimore perspective because we have a lot of Jersey in us. People often say I sound like I'm from Philly, but we have the attitude there. I think that was the thing with me and Tim that worked so well, is we were both had this, edgy little attitude.
Well, Kevin, I think I would have to even agree for myself with where I'm from. Jersey
Yeah,
Shore.
there you go.
There
you
is
go.
to it, and it is a certain way of, presenting yourself, right, at times, and just I agree with that. But so good to see Andy's name pop up.
I always felt bad for Fam because he didn't quite get that. Sometimes he'd be like, "You guys are being mean," and we're like, "No, we're just being East Coast."
Right. You're like, it's just how I am. I mean, there's nobody's going to doubt that you're definitely full of something, Kev. I'm not quite sure what, but.
Thank you. That would be me.
Good.
So, all right, let's, if you're watching this on the YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should be watching this on volume. Moon Cabin, become an all access member over there, get a free month. This week, Friday, we'll be back. T and I will do our morning show Friday. Next week is just a regular week, but the week after that, we have a bunch of stuff coming up. We're going to do a Wook Club with Julie DeLong, Cubs girl, from Twitter for 10/31/80 on the Tuesday after the last Tuesday of the month. Wednesday, we'll have a Halloween show. Actually, next week, you know who's coming on, T, is Mike Ayers. It's coming on next Wednesday.
That's right. Nice.
So,
yes.
And then after that on 11/1, if you're in Baltimore for Billy Strings, please come by the 8x10 from 3 to 5. I would love to pack that place out and show the 8x10 in the world that Wook Plus is ready to take over.
And hey, if you can't get there and you're not, like me, able to get out there, we're going to stream it on volume. So you'll get to watch Kev's interview live on volume, and there might even be a couple performances going on in between the conversation that he's going to have with Mike. So it'll be a really fun thing. Fun to be at live, and fun to be at, if you can't be live, to watch along.
Watch it.
So, yep.
Exactly. Yeah, to boot, think about the Friday evenings. We're going to be running the morning show in the evening on YouTube, but it's going to be live. You can watch it live over on volume at noon on Fridays if you're just hanging out in the office and want background noise.
One background noise. Yeah, sharing in the groove is a good thing. It's a great, the book it's so unique. It's really cool. Yeah.
It's a fantastic book. Really
great
fantastic book. And he will have copies there. He'll be signing copies. I'm going to have Uncle Knuckles 1 Gram Band doing a few acoustic songs during it. So.
Oh, excellent. That's going to be a great event. I'm stoked. That's going to be a really fun one.
And we got some stuff in the shed, me and T, that's just I'm just chomping at the bit to tell the world, and I can't yet. And,
tell me about it, Kev. I know. It's hard not to, but it's coming. And hey, if you go over and subscribe on Volume, check out the site. Like, cruise around. There's a lot of good shit every night. I mean, they're streaming shows. Last night, I streamed. I directed a live stream of David Cook, the guy from American Idol, at the Venice West out here, and it was phenomenal. It was a great show, but we went in, set up the cameras, and live streamed it, and slowed down and went home at night. It was fantastic, though. The whole thing, like, they have so much cool shit on that. I guess it's a channel. I don't know what you want to call it. Website. I don't know what we call it even, but it's
platform.
Awesome, so. Platform. There you go. And
we're gonna platform it.
And they're gonna do the Christmas Jam on there too. We're not gonna say a lot about it, but we are gonna start saying that the Christmas Jam, Orange Christmas Jam, will be on Volume, and there might be a lot more to come about that with us. That's a tease. That's what's known as a tease.
A tease
in the industry.
A tease.
In the industry. Yes. All right, Amanda.
Like Amanda, come back more. Come back
anytime.
That seat's always yours. So,
I love y'all.
We're building you an extra room in the new Wook house. So
I don't take up much space, so like I'm pretty low key, you know.
Yeah. Hey.
I think that Amanda is going to be hooking up with Llama for Llama's new show that's going to be coming out. So
we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be good.
It'll be a good thing. All right, I'm going to run the outro.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have
a good week. See you. What's that link for, William? Let's check it out. Thank you, Taboo. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Daniel. Radio Star Killer, as always. Andy Michaels, love you, buddy.